If there's anything this program's been about the last 30, 40 years, is this is a program that's based on toughness. And so I was looking for coaches who understood what toughness looked like, what practice looked like, and ultimately getting back to the vision of being the most physical team on the field on Saturday. That's Nebraska football, that's Husker athletics, and toughness was a key component of what our vision was going to be. Third and finally was a clearly defined identity. It's something that I really believe in. We're going to believe in something, and we're going to dive into it, and we're going to play complementary football. And I believe that's what Coach Matt believes as well. He'll get a chance to tell you about his vision. So some of the quick coaching characteristics that we were looking for, and some of this is redundant. Obviously, we talked about this a little bit before, but an authentic leader. It's really important to me. We need leadership. We need someone that our players are willing to follow, and our coaching staff. And we have that in Matt Rhule. We need a man of integrity. This program's been built on integrity. We do the right thing all the time. And so having a leader of integrity was really important to us as well. A culture builder, a people manager, someone that understands how to build it brick by brick from the bottom was critically important to me. A process-oriented individual. Details matter. As you think about the Big Ten Conference and where we're going, and how USC and UCLA and perhaps others someday come into our league, and the level of coaching that's going to happen in the Big Ten. Attention to details and process are going to be really, really important to our future. Being a grinder, as I've talked before, is really important. You got to work at this job. You got to be passionate about winning. And finally, a strategic thinker. And as we said about our process and talking to those coaches, there was one coach that consistently stood out from everybody else. One coach who went to multiple places at multiple levels and had the strategic vision to create the structure around what it took to win at that place. Let's be honest. We're at a critical juncture in our history as a football program. And having somebody that has a track record of understanding how to build a program at multiple levels and in multiple locales with multiple strengths and weaknesses was really, really important to me. Matt, I just want to thank you. I want to thank you for believing in me and believing in the University of Nebraska. I want you to know that Husker Nation is behind you. We're going to support you, and we're going to work as hard as we can to help you and our program be successful. And so it is now my distinct privilege and honor to get to introduce the 31st head coach of the University of Nebraska's football program, Mr. Matt Rhule.
Thank you. It was 1983. I was 11 years old, diehard Penn State fan. The year before, Penn State had won the national championship. Now, some people in this room might disagree with that. But for me, they had won the national championship. And my father, my dad's a teacher and minister, and we were living in New York City. Had a chance to go out and see the kickoff classic. I had a chance to talk to Coach Osborne. I relayed this story, and I was watching the Penn State Nittany Lions take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers, and on that day, Nebraska won 44-6. And I can still remember walking back to the subway with tears in my eyes, wondering why Nebraska had to do that to us. Fast forward to 1994 and walked on at Penn State and found a way to find some ways to get on the team and play. And we had an undefeated season in the Big Ten, beat Oregon 38-6. And Nebraska went out and played the University of Miami and beat them. And once again, there were tears in my eyes as we finished without a national championship, and Nebraska did. And then I think about last Saturday morning, and my wife Trev talked about grinders. Just so everybody knows who my wife Julie is. My wife Julie woke up yesterday morning at 6 a.m., put 3 dogs, 3 kids in a Sprinter van, drove 12 hours back to Charlotte, got there at 11 o'clock, ironed the kids' clothes till 12:30, was up at 4, and she's here smiling. She's a grinder. She's the best. And the University of Nebraska, that once brought tears to my eyes when I was 11, once brought tears to my eyes when I was in college, it brought tears to my wife's eyes. Because she's been telling me throughout this whole process, since the very first day that I got a phone call about a job and a university and different people have been coming at us, she has said, this place, these people, this is the right fit for us. This is the right fit for our family. So on behalf of my family, the most important thing in the world to me, my wife Julie, my son Brian, my daughters Vivian, Leona, thanks for paying attention to me, guys. I want to thank Husker Nation. I want to thank the University of Nebraska. I want to thank Chancellor Green for this opportunity. But I want you to understand that this wouldn't be possible if it weren't for President Ted Carter. This would not be possible if it was not for Trev Alberts. It would not be possible if it was not for Angie Alberts. Because throughout this process, we found what we've been looking for. We found leadership. We found alignment. Like how do you put numbers like this up on the wall? How do you have the great seasons? How do you have 5 national championships? You need leadership and you need alignment. And I've learned that lesson. I've learned that no matter how fertile the seed is, man, it's got to be in great soil for the plant to grow. I could have taken a year off. Some people might think that, my wife was tired of me after 6 weeks. And while that might be a little bit true, that's not why I'm here today. I'm here today because as I talked to Trev, the passion for football was reborn inside me. The passion for young people was reborn inside of me. When we came to Lincoln and we snuck into Lincoln and we drove around, we said, you know what, this is a place that's committed to greatness. This is a place that's committed. Look at this facility that's committed to player development. These are people that love their university, that love their state and love their football team. So as people ask me why, I am here because this is the right fit. It's the right time. And if I have one message for you, we can absolutely do it. We can absolutely get the University of Nebraska and University of Nebraska football exactly where it's supposed to be. It will be hard. It may take time, but it will be done. So thank you, Trev. Thank you, President Carter, for setting a vision for us that made us decide to call this home.